All right. Oh, look, I got to plug the mic in. Trying to get audio troubles right out of the gate for myself always. So, having said that, welcome one, welcome all. If there's even anybody in here yet, I know we take a couple minutes and we'll go ahead and let some folks fill into the room. And I'll throw another shot or two while we wait. If you didn't already know, today testing the 900 Global Viking. So we'll talk a little bit more about core, cover, what the intended purpose of the ball is, and all that good stuff. But I definitely want to let a few more people get into the live chat, and then we'll go from there. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, let us know. If where you're tuning in from, let us know that too. We like to see where everybody's coming from. So, all right. So, take another shot or two here. Just trying to get warmed up a little bit. Good morning, good morning.
Good old Mike, first one on.
He's ready. He's always ready now. You notice that?
Yeah. After we explained how to make sure you don't miss anything.
That's right. So, our friend Mike Lexus just entered the chat. Mike had said that he had missed a few times some of our live streams, at very least the start of them. So we fixed that with, if you go to the Buddies Pro Shop page and you arrow down in the area that says following, if you're not already doing it, make sure you follow. And then you can actually go through and select your preferences to make sure you don't miss any of the Buddies content. We love to put stuff out for you guys. Hate when you end up missing it, especially if there's a live event and you want to ask some questions or get to know a little bit more about a ball. But if that's the way you don't want to make sure you don't want to miss these, go ahead and follow the steps. Go to the page, check your following, arrow down, and reset your preferences to make sure you don't miss our stuff. So, yeah. So welcome one, welcome all. As I said, today, checking out the Viking. Try to get a little closer up shot here. Hey, there we go. Now we know what we're doing. So this is the newest release from 900 Global. It's definitely filling a spot I feel like they're missing in their bag just a little bit. Now, the closest thing that 900 Global has out to this right now is the Origin, the original Origin. So something that still has a little stronger cover on it, but this one has just a little higher RG on this particular piece. So I definitely expect to see it be a little poppier down lane than what the Origin was. I definitely seen the Origin being a little bit more mid lane. I would have put one of those in the bag today, but I didn't have an Origin, never really drilled one up. Just never seemed like it needed to fit the bag at the time. But yeah, I would say 900 Global, as far as I'm concerned, that's the closest piece out to it right now. Both of them are hybrid cover stocks. I believe the RB93 cover stock is on the Origin, while this one is sporting an RB90. So in terms of strength, I'm sure they're very, very similar to each other. I don't have a chart exactly showing that strength, but if we're all just playing by the numbers, that's going to be the closest one. So we'll show you a little bit of this one, which I did drill this one pinned down. If you know me, shiny asymmetric balls, love putting them pinned down. I think they are by far the most utilized ball in my bag, whether I'm bowling a tournament or I'm bowling a house shot. Anytime I know where I'm going to end up meeting some friction, whether it's in the middle or towards the end of the day, these end up coming in come out in one of my bags. So this one, like I said, is pinned down. It's 45, 4.5, 75 for me, as well as one of the comparison balls we're working with today. One of my favorite balls still in the bag. Once again, my most utilized ball in the bag at events, the Attention Star. Unfortunately, they discontinued this one. Now, this does have some play on it, so I don't touch the surfaces of my shinier equipment just because I always feel like they do the right thing. If I ever feel like I need to adjust that and go to something sanded, I always have a sanded piece in the bag anyway. So this is not, I wouldn't say maintained, so I didn't go back through and resurface it. I usually just kind of let them lane shine up, and they still work great. So this one does have some play on it, probably, I don't know, 80 to 100 games on it at this point. So it is starting to get towards the area where I'm thinking about either reviving it, resurfacing it, or replacing it with another shiny, bigger asymmetric ball. The only difference is really being in these, obviously it's still a stronger cover that's on this ball. But the RG on the Attention Star is a little bit lower. I believe it's like 247, 248, where the Viking is 252. So it's going to bump it down the lane a little bit cleaner on the Viking in comparison to what the Attention Star is, or at least that's what we're expecting. A little bit less overall flare potential. And I apologize. It was the RG was 251, where it's 052 on differential for the Viking. So the Viking has a little bit more flare potential than what the Attention Star does right out of the gate. But we'll just have to see. I expect this one to be just a hair earlier, especially with a little bit of lane play on it, and just a hair earlier, but still be pretty quick off the spot once it actually does get there. Where I see the Vikings probably going to push me maybe another foot or so before it really starts to pick up. And it's still the same thing. It's still going to be pretty clean and be a little bit more down lane. And then, just for fun, because I already have another big shiny asymmetric ball from 900 Global in the bag, and if you remember, Harsh Reality Pearl. So similarities with this one is this one actually has a little bit more flare potential than what the Viking does, at least on paper. And it still has a pretty strong cover stock on it. It's the 902, if you remember the reserve blends. This was their strongest reserve blend at the time. The only difference layout-wise is this one's going to be 45, 4.5, 30, so it's going to be pin up. Most of the time, I'm going to need a little bit more volume to play with these guys, especially in the front part of the lane, just because those pin-up balls want to start up so fast versus the pin-down balls, which I tend to get a little more down lane reaction out of because they're not hooking so early, which is exactly why I have them in the bag. So they get rid of that friction, but they still have some bounce down lane. So we're going to get to see how these bounce around here. Feel free to throw some questions in the comments, and I'll bounce over. You got Chris Forey off to the side over here. He's putting in some work today. He didn't drill one of these up, but he said, hey, I can't miss a live stream, especially if it gets him a little bit of a practice session. The man needs to put in work, he says. Still throws it great, so what are you going to do? So, well, without further ado, like I said, I'll bounce over here, check the questions real quick, and see if anybody has questions about the Viking today, or any of the other pieces that were tested, or anything we've tested in the past. So feel free. And I'm going to get you guys on the... Let's see here. Get you guys on the down lane camera real quick. Switching me up on the lane 40 today. And the first couple shots, just because not everybody is rev dominant, I would still consider myself in that category. Not by much, just by a little bit. So typically I'm standing a little bit further left anyway. And then, yeah, so I'm going to try to get myself a little bit further right today. So your first couple shots here are going to definitely have to take some hand out of it and just stroke it up the boards and see how she plays. One for one. One for one on the down lane motion there. Still pretty clean. Like I said, I did take some hand out of it, so allowed me to play a little bit straighter angles, but nice part about that is taking hand out of it, the ball still hit pretty hard. Yanked it up the lane just a little bit, just as I finally get some miss in the right direction up on a house shot here. So another shot with this Viking. Like I said, staying a little further right than I typically would, but just so you guys get to see what this thing looks like. Definitely missed that one. Yeah, it's the downside of playing that. Not necessarily my A game, so at least unless we're jamming them up the gutter, that's a little bit of a different story. We'll get another full rack here. Maybe I'll actually catch one at the bottom a little bit. Yeah, trying to get that, if I try to get the speed up to really match what my rev rate is, to be able to play this part of the lane, I'll be chucking it everywhere even more so. So that's to just take a little hand out of it. A little bit better. Yeah, it still bites pretty hard there too, so. You can definitely see how quick that ball was off the friction once I actually got it there and had a little bit of rotation with it. Yeah, even with taking some hand out of it, I could probably move in just a little bit. Now, I did get to throw this a little bit for our 5 shots from 5 places video, if you caught that earlier in the week. If not, feel free to check that out on both our Instagram and Facebook pages. And I didn't have an issue with this ball striking, with the exception of when I play a little further right, I had to trick the first shot. Look at that one. Look at that one. I rotated just a hair more than probably what I wanted, and really kind of still bites down lane once it sees that friction. So let's get another one here, another full rack real quick. Who needs to shoot spares? I don't bowl anymore anyway. I just want to show you guys this thing, get down the lane and do the thing. I will bounce in just a little bit. Mike, see you said that you lost the video and the audio there. I'm still showing we have it on our end. Just give me something in the chat there that everything looks good. Both on Facebook and YouTube. Lost your signal. Naturally. Let's see here. I'm showing everywhere that it looks fine, so that's...
Friday, Tasha, a man's
Let's
French
see.
game by
Oh, the
Rich
Wi-Fi still says it
Schwam.
works.
269 scratch.
Well, let's
Good
bounce back
game,
over
Rich.
here real quick.
I'm sorry, let me go check.
All right, folks, we got Chris going in the back to check for us. Oh, you refreshed it on YouTube and now it's working? Okay, good to know. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier in the week, or earlier this morning, but even Google was having some issues this morning. You try to Google something and no computer in my house or phone would work to get to Google. So I wonder what's going on. So hopefully you guys can still hear this one and see the video on lane 40, the downlink camera. I am going to move in just a little bit. Still kind of try to take some hand out of this and let that one bounce off a little more. Wow, that's still crazy. Not to say anything, but I feel like I took about half my hand out of there. Just gave it a little bit of rotation. So we're really bouncing on the bouncing off the friction here on lane 40. That thing is still crazy sharp. So if I do let it get there, it's gonna see it pretty hard. See another one here. All right, well, as long as you guys say it's good, I'm gonna believe you. Fortunately, I don't have Facebook sitting up in front of me, so I'll move just a hair more. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. We're definitely gonna still let it get to that friction and bounce around. There we go. Bump the speed up just a hair, and that got it to hold line pretty good. So if you guys can see pretty good on that downlink camera, this thing is pretty clean as it's getting through the back part of the lane, but once it really sees that defined friction, it bites pretty hard. You know, it's gonna be easy to get overshadowed here as far as, you know, all the balls that are out right now, and Viking is kind of a new name, new everything. It's got a new, it's got that RB90 cover on it, which is new, or it's at least part of their blends. And then we also have the Strobe AI core, just a big asymmetric core in this thing. So it's easy for balls that, you know, brand new and have a new name to kind of get lost up. So let's take another one here. Oh, I got to round that one way too much. All right. Straight as I'd like to try to stay on this, and this is me pretty much staying as straight as we can. Interesting. Even our app that we run our streams on is telling me that they're having issues on Facebook. So if you guys can hear this at all or see the stream, feel free to jump over on the YouTube. YouTube still seems to be working. At least they haven't given us any error message or anything. So. Yeah, very interesting that Facebook is having the issues it is. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is on Facebook. If you guys are on YouTube, feel free to still watch the video. I'll keep it rolling for us. If it's still going to record there, so let's take another shot just up the boards. One more. Yeah, really trying to give that one a little extra ball speed too. Make sure I keep that ball speed up, even with taking a little bit of hand out, man. And I'm telling you, it's still ripping pretty good down there. If you guys are able to catch this. All right, feel free to jump over to YouTube. And I got one more in me with the Viking from this far right. I will throw a couple more shots, or we'll throw a couple more shots from further right, but with some of the other pieces just on top of these so you can kind of see the difference. That one had some speed on it too. There we go. Looking much better there once we got that ball speed up to kind of take care of that friction. Yeah, so sorry that for any of you guys that were trying to watch on Facebook there. I'm not sure what's going on their end, but sometimes it happens. Luckily, we don't have to pay them. So that'd be pretty sad. So now I'm going to jump directly into my pretty close comparison ball with the Attention Star. What I'm assuming is going to be what's going to get replaced if it does at all. Now it might just be a backup. And I'm going to take the Attention Star. I'm going to put it in the same place. So now we are throwing the Attention Star in the same part of the lane. Let's see what it does. pretty similar. Looks just a little bit more rounded off that spot. I did get that one a little bit further right. See if we can go 2 here. How much harder that is for you guys to see. Try it for a shot or 2. Like I said, I am in that attention star now. Both of these balls, big flaring balls. Everything we're throwing today, bigger flaring ball. The difference is between the Viking attention star versus the harsh. The Viking and the attention star are pinned down. Going to help me get the balls a little bit further down lane, be a little less responsive overall off the initial off the friction. So the reason you might see a little more down lane shape out of these, however, even though it's kind of counterintuitive when we're saying we're controlling how much it bounces off the friction, is a lot of the friction, especially in the Northeast and a lot of aging panels across the U.S., is we're going to have a lot of early friction in the heads. So if I were to throw a pin-up ball and I'm battling that early friction, it's going to hook in the front part of the lane pretty quick because it's going to try to not fight your rev rate, basically. It's not going to fight its own transition from skid to hook to roll. So that way when those pin-up balls see that early friction, they try to hook up immediately. So even if it's a shined up ball, depending on how bad your center surface is, you may see those stand up even more, which could potentially give you less shape down lane versus something like a pin down version of both of these balls, where it's going to be a little cleaner through the front part of the lane. It's not going to fight it so much. That way it does still retain energy for down lane. So while they, on paper, will give you less overall shape than what their direct counterparts of a pinup would be, you'll still potentially see them be a little cleaner, a little smoother off the spot if you were putting them right up next to each other. So we'll throw another one here with the attention star. Like I said, I'm in the same place, so hopefully that 2-camera view there is still good enough for you guys to see this. See that one. Yeah, I mean, even that. Now, the biggest part of this for me is the age between the 2 balls. Now, numbers-wise, it's still going to tell me that the attention star is going to be just a hair earlier and a hair less overall shape in comparison to what the Viking would be, just from a number standpoint. But really, the age of that cover stock on the attention star is going to be a big play. There's like 80 to 100 games on this one, and it's it's kind of dulled up just a little bit, and I don't really touch the surfaces on my shiny balls like we were saying. So I should still see a little bit more overall shape out of my Viking, just in a different part of the lane. So that was 2 shots, or 2 or 3 shots there with the attention star. I'm going to go ahead, just because we are going to move into the middle part of the lane here, and today I got to use the trusty Jopo tool. Some of the cores, when they start to swell in the Jopos, they get a little tight. That's that way with pretty much any interchangeable, but we are finding that the Jopos definitely do it too. So no one is immune, unfortunately, from core swelling. It happens everywhere. Even whether you throw the ball, don't throw the ball, keep it in your house, don't keep it in your house, I don't care. Core swelling is going to happen. It's almost unavoidable. Now we're switching to the harsh reality pearl. Now from this part of the lane, I expect this ball to do what I said earlier, where it's going to hook a little bit earlier and probably offer me a little less shape overall down lane. But we'll throw a few shots and see here. I mean, you got to think, this ball is on paper overall stronger and then has a stronger layout on top of it. So you're going to think that you're going to see more shape. When I'm betting the reality is definitely going to be the opposite. So try to keep it in the same part of the lane and see what happens. Now, still made it to the pocket. I think I got that one just a hair further right overall, but you could really see that thing stand up in the mid lane in comparison, and then that's kind of why you've seen it go a little bit higher too. So, throw another one here. It definitely started up a lot earlier. So, I think that was probably one of our best videos to be able to see on top of it how much earlier a pinup ball is going to try to start up. Because I mean, this was a lot of mid lane there. So we'll go do the same thing. I think this one's going to be just a hair further up the lane, probably. I think I got a little right on that one. Let's see that one. That one's going to be pretty close. Yeah, so really that's the even bigger tell. That one got into a little bit more of the oil down lane, but because of how it hooked in the front part of the lane, it was still less shape as it came off the back part of the pattern. It was a little bit more mid lane, a little more forward as it went through the pins. You could really see the entry angle. It didn't really continue, kind of went through the 9-pin, and lucky to get the 10 out there. So we'll throw one more with the harsh reality pearl here. See how this works. Yeah, same type of thing. I'm going to stay in the same part of the lane here before we end up making the move. Oh, I didn't throw that one very good. Well, luckily it still did the right thing there. So the ball speed was still up, but you guys didn't catch it. I was way off balance on that one, but does all the right things on the house shots, right? All right. So still, even with the miss there, still really read the mid lane and kind of laid off down lane. So where I found that if we were throwing the attention star there, or even the Viking for the most part, it's still going to be a little quicker off that spot once it gets there because it retained more energy for when it met that defined friction. Super important to know where the friction's happening on the lane, and what balls to throw, and why they're doing what they're doing. I think that's very helpful if you're going to try to increase your scores. It's not just throw the ball, know why it's doing what it's doing. So now, jump back out of the attention star. Or sorry, not the attention star, the harsh reality. And we're going to jump back into the Viking, but I am going to move a little bit further left. Try to open up the lane just a little bit. Just making sure we didn't have any too many questions in there. So, like I said, I'm going to jump probably, 6, 7 left here with my feet. Maybe just a few with my eyes. And I think we're going to be in a little bit more comfortable zone, so I don't have to throw it as hard as I can and take some handouts. This will be a little closer to a regular shot. So. As it's pretty much what I expected there. So nice and clean as it got down through the front part of the lane. Even through the mid lane, didn't really see much, and didn't go crazy sideways down lane, even with the amount of axis rotation. I know I didn't necessarily talk about that right out of the gate, but I definitely bumped my axis rotation up as I got in there, and I kind of expected a super clean ball like that to be way jumpy as it got off that spot, and it held line pretty nice. So we'll see. We'll see if that's a repeatable thing. If you didn't already know, you should be liking and sharing the stream. Not only so other people get a chance to take a look at the Viking, but get yourself a chance to win a free Buddies merch pack. I got one going out here today, so hopefully we get to announce another one today and be able to send another person free merch. Who doesn't want free Buddies merch? So like and share the feed, like and share. Oh, that was way up the lane. Does that still do it? Ooh, it almost did. Not my best. Not my best. So go ahead and get a full set here. There's your hair up the lane. You can always blame the ball all you want, but I tell you what, if I ever miss that bad in real life, and when the scores count and it leaves me a tap in, that's okay. Still got some of that left over in there, trying to keep the ball speed up. Definitely don't need to do all that stuff. We'll let this one creep a little right. Oh, we were stringing them away there. We had lots of strikes going between all the balls, so looks like doing the right thing here. That one got to the right. What's that do? Same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. That one got just a little bit more forward off the friction. Another reason I like to make sure I rotate these balls, and that's why I have them in the bag as pin down balls. So when I am chasing them a little further left, I don't have to be worried about over-rotating just a little bit. The cover is still strong enough that it should see it, still respond nicely off the back end. So it's not going to go dead sideways once it meets that friction. It's going to open up that hook window front to back and not make it super duper quick as it gets down lane. So no one wants to see me shoot a 10 pin and miss it on live TV. Let's see another one here. Let's see. What Brunswick ball will be close enough to this? That's a great question, too. In just a second here, while I think that one over. That one had a little more on it. Yeah, that's a big difference there as far as the shape it was coming off the pattern. That's the difference to be just a little too forward and just a little too much around.
Probably the criterion inversion. Is that what they call that thing?
Inverse?
Inverse.
Inverse, I think.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, it's something with just a little bit more, just, kind of a middle to upper RG in comparison to some of the other bigger balls out there. It's not a 257 ball by any means, but it's still, I would consider this middle to upper diff. It's not high end. It's not like a 58 diff or anything crazy like that. So inverse probably was a good comparison there. Just watching this thing kind of jump off the friction is kind of neat. That's a little closer to what we were looking for. Goes down the lane, does the hook thing. What more do you want out of a ball, right? And once again, still a huge fan of having balls like this in my bag. If I didn't already say it a bunch of times, the pin down, shiny, asymmetric balls, some of my U-boats use balls in the bag. Anytime I'm encountering a lot of friction later in blocks at certain tournaments, house shots that already have some of that built-in friction in there, and I'm trying to curve the lane, but I got to go through a puddle to make it happen. I got to make sure I have enough down lane without it going nuts. I really like to make sure I can be able to relax as I'm going across the lane. I don't want to have to dead hack on it in order to get the ball to turn the corner, and that's why I like to stay in the bigger balls. Is it time to be in this ball right now? It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's still pretty sharp down lane, so for the ones we got up the lane there a little bit. And we'll get another reset here. Oh, apologies. Tis the season for runny noses, I guess. Apparently 4 pins too. All right. That last one was pretty sharp too. Get this one just a hair further right. That is the one. That better strike. Oh my goodness. That was much stronger off the spot than what I was expecting. Something about having to keep my ball speed up in the center. I just can't do it. Okay, get rid of that one. So, if anything, we're seeing exactly what the ball is designed to do. When 900 Global talks about what this ball is supposed to do, it's going to get a little further down lane than what the origin is and be a lot sharper than what the origin is in comparison to other balls in their line. Pretty easy to see that for the most part. And if anything, it's dialing me back into knowing that this is a ball that, once again, I can get left with, open up the lane, and I don't have to worry about, is it strong enough to make the corner? It's going to be able to do it. Let's throw another one from right here. I'll bump in just a little bit more. That last one was real good. What does that do? Hey. Just getting warmer. Even that one was just a hair more forward than what I was wanting, but went through the pins pretty good. If I get those hits all day, 10 out of 10. Now, this thing is still going to have to do some heavy lifting here to get me on board with the Attention Star, but now that I'm thinking about it, pretty much every shiny pin down ball that's asymmetric that I've had in my bag over the past, 5 years, I've always been in love with them. They always seem to do the right thing. So between this, I had the Attention Star that was pinned down. I had a Magic Gem that was pinned down. What was the other one in there? Or no, not a Magic Gem, I apologize. Exotic Gem. And then, let's see what was before that one. Oh, the RSTX2, love that ball. UFO Alert was pinned down, love that ball. So you should try it, I'm just saying. If you're at somebody who has a super high track, by all means, put one of those in your bag. So still creeping a little further left here, nothing crazy. Oh, I got so far around that one, it should have no chance. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How did it strike? How did it do the thing there? That's why the ball's in my bag, right? So we'll throw another one or two here with the Viking in this part of the lane. And I'm going to switch to my current favorite for this, the Attention Star. And then we'll even show you the Harsh Reality Pearl, because Harsh Reality Pearl should be pretty close to what we were needing right now. I mean, if I was bowling in league and I was on the fresh, I'm probably throwing the Harsh Reality Pearl out of the gate in this center, just because there's a little bit more friction overall. And it likes to keep me left. What does that one do? That is pretty good. That's what I like to see. I think that's what everybody likes to see. The go long and snap. Money. Money, money, money. So throw one more with it. Ball is starting to come up a little higher. And we'll see. And when it comes back, I'll show you the flare line, since I do keep wiping those off on you guys. Chris, over on lane 39, is practicing. He's throwing the Alert. If you didn't have a chance, check out on YouTube. We did do a live review of the Alert. And that ball is crazy strong down lane in comparison to what you probably would think it would be. So yeah, Chris is tossing that over on 39. One more here at the Viking in the middle of the lane. I even got that one up the lane and a little too much rotation there, so 10 pin was kind of expected. But we'll see. See what the attention star does here in this next shot. Whether it's a house shot or not. I mean, the house shots, if they build in enough friction, I'll do it. But I'm not saying this ball has a niche spot in my bag, but I always have an idea of what I'm trying to replace, what shape I want to see out of it. So when I put a ball in the bag, I know where it's going to work and where it's not, for the most part. Okay. So now we're into the attention star. Same type of zone. Still going to try to get just a little further right in the last couple were. Got out of that one a little early. What's that do? Yeah, so for the most part, that's pretty much what I expected out of a ball that already, on paper, is going to hook just a little earlier, be a little less shape, and on top of that, the surface is broken in on that one pretty good. So, yeah, it's lane side up comparison, so it's a little on the duller side. I don't know if we can even see. Man, this thing soaked up those flare lines quick. Yeah, it's going to be a real hard one to see on the camera there, so yeah, I was going to say it's going to be pretty hard to see. I probably needed to do that right out of the gate. We'll get one. We'll get one that has some fresh lines on it. But just in kind of comparison, pretty similar overall to what my attention star is kind of putting out there. I don't know if it's very easy. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty decent amount of flare still for a pin down ball. Let's throw another one here with the attention. Like I said, it's going to be pretty hard to get this thing out of my bag until it just doesn't want to do anything down lane anymore. That's usually when I decide to flip them over. You got to yank them out of my hand at some point. It's difficult once I start liking them. So, same part of the lane here. Yeah, same kind of thing. Out when it's a little up the lane, and you definitely see it didn't want to really jump and go sideways. Once again, going back to, these balls do need a little bit of friction, and since they're pin down balls, they don't get it in that mid lane like they need. Might not quite get to that corner, that spot where they're going to start making their move yet. So, not totally surprised to see that. I'll throw one more with it. One more, the attention star, and then we'll jump into the harsh reality pearl, which is the pin up ball. And that's where I really expect that one to start doing some cool stuff. Is now we're starting to get into the middle of the lane with a little bit more volume. This one's going to be a little further right. That was a good one. That's going to do it every time. I'm sad they got rid of that ball. The ball's so good. Out of the attention star and the S2, sales-wise, reaction-wise, I don't know how they got rid of it. People like the S2. I would probably like it as well. Man. Just it's a heartbreaker to know that they got rid of the attention star. So, all right, jump back into that harsh reality pearl here. Assuming I can get my thumb in and out of it. And the difference between the attention star and the harsh reality pearl, other than them, you know, obviously being one pin up, one pin down, harsh pearl is technically a little stronger. But age, I think I've got maybe 5 games in the harsh reality pearl, and that's not to say that it isn't a good ball. Because most of the time I would be in something like this, or dark, Vibo or something along those lines, especially in the pin-up area, but just hasn't come across it. Every time it's time for me to bump in and create some shape, I usually end up in the attention star. So, gonna jump right in that same spot with the harsh reality pearl. Remember, this one was definitely a little bit more mid lane earlier, so we'll see how it goes as it gets through some oil. That one got a little further right than what I expected, but still kind of what I would see there. That one's really, really easy to see between all the balls we're testing, where it's trying to hook in the middle part of the lane, where you start seeing those colors really rev up and spool up in the middle of the lane. That's what happens with the balls meet defined friction. They're going to start getting the core in action, getting it start going through its skid hook and roll motions. So let's see here. And yeah, easy to see because even though this ball got a little further right, it still didn't hook as early as what it was before. So when we were a little further right initially, that ball just kind of laid off because it was just hooking so early, and I got to the spot and kind of rounded the shape out a little bit more. Now that I'm in the middle of the lane, got a little bit more head oil to play with. So it's definitely going to create more shape regardless, assuming that I don't get this thing up in the mega puddle. And at the end of the day, it's still a clean ball, so still needs some friction to play with. Oh, like that. Like that one's not going to do it. Or maybe it will. Maybe it will. I haven't bowled in a house shot so long. You got to be so perfect. Yeah, it is definitely sad that you can't get the attention star, or even the harsh reality pro. I thought this ball was great too. So I've had 2 of these. I also had the altered reality, which might as well be a harsh reality pro, just a little earlier. That ball is amazing too. So yeah, we're gonna make sure we get this one just a hair further right. And by a hair, I mean the whole lane right. And still kind of what we were expecting there. Oh, he's going to shoot it. He's going to shoot it on the string for us, folks. You got to have somebody do it. Yeah, even with that one getting a little further right, still see that ball really try to pick up in the middle part of the lane there, and didn't quite do it down lane. So let's see. Does he make it? You got to hit one to get 2. Hey, you got one.
It's not good when it's just pushed right into the pin deck.
So
I don't throw enough of a knuckleball to really make it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I can throw it straight, but I can't. You need to have very little revs. It can't roll the pin into the pin.
All right. So still fun the harsh pearl. Maybe we'll put one on the line this time. Who knows? That's much closer. So that's going to be close. Yeah. And going back to it, that ball's still trying to see the middle part of the lane pretty strong, and so it really isn't quite getting there once it sees that spot. So really what we were expecting to see out of those. And probably even easier to see on the camera, the down lane camera, of how fast that thing tries to spool up once it sees that friction. So we'll
I'll shoot that for you.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
You can keep talking.
Shoot some more 10 pins. Why not? Yeah, the microphone issues that we have are some of the devices we record on, especially with the microphone one, is it's a little iffy on whether or not it blocks the call out, which is kind of interesting. But I guess today does it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Who knows? All right, now get me out of the harsh reality pro. Let's throw more of the Viking. We want to see more of that. I know what the harsh pearl does. There's a reason probably this year has been only 5 games on it. Once again, definitely not saying it's a bad ball, but it's definitely not the right ball for what we're doing right now. So, just for fun, probably not the perfect time to be doing this yet. Don't have quite a lot of play on this lane. This would be a ball that I try to bring out probably like game 2, game 3. And an overall league setting, I'm probably in like the first half of the game still, maybe a little less. But I got to take it further left. Can we make it jump around the lane? Have to. So we are in definite game 3 territory here. So that means I got to feed it to the friction and be nice with it. What does that do? Plenty. Plenty enough down lane. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for out of balls like that. Something that's going to get down lane, be able to rotate it. The ball still jumps off the spot. Very little effort in making that one happen. And anytime I can get a little further left, be a little nicer with it, that's the scoring day for me. Probably why when I bowl NEBA, it's usually better in the afternoon squad when they got some play on them. All right. Chris playing a little straighter that along over there. Not that you really got to see too much of that, but that ball looks pretty good too. Not that I made it look good, but it does look good in other people's hands. All right, another shot of the Viking here, just curving the lane. What does that one do? Sheesh. If that's what you need, that's what you got to get. If you need a ball that's going to get down the lane, make the corner with no effort. As long as you have some axis rotation, you know what you're doing on that, it's going to make the corner. Too often, I feel like we have people that will request certain ball reaction out of balls that don't necessarily have, not necessarily have the ability. The ball may have the ability, but the bowler has to learn how to operate it. So if you're driving down the car or driving down the road, you want to make a turn, but you're unwilling to learn how to turn the wheel, the car's probably going to drive pretty straight still. Same thing, like, what's up?
No, so quick question here was
Oh, okay.
pretty much trying to decide between a Viking and an Equinox. Equinox is going to be a lot earlier.
Yeah, talking about the original Equinox in comparison
Yeah.
to this, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. The original Equinox, very pearl, very rolly in the mid lane.
I think out of all the current shiny balls that are out right now, that
Earliest
one
Pearl.
probably is sitting in the middle part of the lane, even earliest, even earlier than the Harsh Reality Pearl, which we did do a direct comparison with the Equinox initially. That even the Harsh is still a little bit cleaner overall than what the Equinox is. So yeah, Equinox definitely going to be quite a few feet earlier than what the Viking is. So. If you're trying to replace your Attention Star, this one's probably a little bit closer overall, I would say. I think the Attention Star is probably just a hair earlier and a hair less shape overall, but you're splitting boards at this point. So I would say that's going to be the closer of the two. So.
Yeah, and somebody asked about Attention Stars. I mean, by the time they discontinued, we only had a couple in stock, so we had no reason to get rid of them.
We had a couple in stock, and then you couldn't get them. As fast as they were announced, as fast as you could search all the distributors.
And then the locals came in and were like, hey, do you have any laying around? And yeah, we tried to hoard some for ourselves.
Oh my goodness, it's just so sad. But they always find a way to make another ball that's going to be similar enough. And just look at those couple shots right there as far as the ball is concerned. It's going to be able to get down the lane and kick a corner. As long as there's a little bit of friction there and you know how to rotate that hand around it. It is 2 for 2 from, pretty far left, making it happen. So we'll keep it running here. Maybe that's where I had to be from the start. Always on the house shot, crossing the boards. That one was pretty good too. Not a lot of action at the bottom. I'm not really trying to rip on this ball. I'm just trying to keep the fingers low and rotate around it and really let the strength of the ball, both cover and core, really let the ball do what it's supposed to do. If you're a bowler and you're struggling with anything, I don't care. Most of the time that you're trying to do is create ball reaction, trying to get some strikes out of it. Usually when you go back the other way, take some effort out of it and really just focus on, do I have a ball that's strong enough or a ball that needs to be a little bit less overall shape, and just stay in your comfort zone. It's the best way to go about it. Yeah, it's more of a reason, more often why not, that I score later in blocks. It's because in my mind, I already know that there's plenty of friction out there. The strength of the ball is going to do everything I need. As long as I have to do is put it on the line, add the rotation, and that's it. Whew. The ball's going to do it. I mean, we're pretty far left at this point, especially on fresh, so keep going. Oh, I didn't not throw that one very good. A little up on that one. What are you going to do? That was everything was up on that one. But once again, no real issue with the ball turning the corner. Right after I was like, oh yeah, let me just hit it a little harder. Not a good idea. It seems like we are, in the bowling world, always consumed with how much a ball hooks. And especially in the industry, of all the videos that we've been doing, it feels like every ball just hooks a ton. You gotta start telling these people it's okay to go the other way. The centers everywhere are hooking. We need balls to hook more? I don't think so. It's plenty. It's plenty. I mean, like I said, I gotta take a little hand out of it to really get it to do the right thing. But that one got so far right, but still gonna throw in the corner. Roll it! Come on! Good enough. Thank you for making Buddies your pro shop. I seen your comment in there. We definitely appreciate it, and we also appreciate how it got to that point. Whether you ended up being close to a pro shop who wasn't either putting out the right work for you, maybe they weren't available as consistently as you like, or maybe the work took a little bit of time, or maybe you just don't even have a shop close to you. And that's who we're here for. I look at it this way.
Some days.
It's never really our prices that get people through the door. It's how fast we're able to get our equipment out, and it's also the quality of our work. I feel like if you're putting out quality work at any shop, you're going to retain your customers. And I think that's obviously we're always trying to give you guys the best deal we can, but that's our non-plum right there. It's the quality of work we put out. That one got a little further right too. Still snapping the 10, no problem. No problems at all. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions in regards to this, feel free to throw those in the comments. If you haven't already, like and share the feed. Whether it's on Facebook or you just take the YouTube link and share it to anywhere. I don't really care. Get the word out there. I want to make sure people know that we do these. That way you get some more viewers in the comments, and more viewers and comments, and the more questions that are asked, the more information you get out of it. So that's just something to think about. Like and share. Get yourself in for one of those free Buddies merch packs. Go ahead and take another shot here from the left side of the lane. It's quite a bit of curving, but I bet it does it. That one's going to go through the 8 pin. Yeah, that's sick. I like being in that part of the lane. What are you going to do? Especially here at Nutmeg. This is where I'll live at Nutmeg when it's the house shot. But if they're putting out anything that's flatter, I'm going to be so far right that it's making my nose bleed. Gutter always hooks at Nutmeg 98% of the patterns. So when they put a sport shot out there, it's just figure out a way to get a couple boards there. So another one here. Finish off this game. One more. Oh, that one was a little up the lane. Does that go? That's kind of expected for that point. I think we already kind of talked about that a little earlier, is that this ball does need some friction. So if I got that one up the lane, it's not quite the right time to have this ball in my hand. Assuming that I want to be able to have a little this up the lane. We haven't it up enough to play with once here. Once it gets down the lane, it's still a little behind in its transition. Gets a little behind the hip in, and that's going to be a potential result. But Chris shot the last one. I'll go ahead and shoot this one. Oh, it's already gone. Never mind. So throw one more here. We're going to go even further left. Look in front of the ball return. See if this thing's able to curve off the friction. We'll give it a second. He's up on the approach as we speak. The man, the myth, the legend. All right, so just for fun, not that we needed to be here at all yet. We'll see, does it make the corner from the spot? Yeah, had to give it a little extra, but it definitely still acted like I wanted to see it as long as the friction was there to play with. And that right there, from this last set of where we were, pretty much, sliding 30, to being in front of the ball return, that's where I expect to use these balls. Mainly because there's going to be a lot of friction to play with. You got to throw it through a puddle. You need a ball that's going to be strong enough to stand up in the middle part of the lane, so when it does need some volume, just in case. We'll do another one. Pretty far left here. I'd say we're reaching my maximum, but we're about a board or two away from it, it seems like. To get this one a little further right, a little earlier. That's going to be pretty close. That's what we're looking for. Ball does it. I don't know. Does the right thing. Imagine that. The bowler does it, executes what they say, the ball takes care of the rest. So you get yourself to about 80-85% execution, you're usually going to have a good outcome, especially if you're in the right ball in the right part of the lane. All right. So we'll jump back here, just the regular camera, going to the solo, and we'll finish up, because at this point, we're going to be running out of lane. You guys seen that the Viking pretty much does it right all the way across the lane. The only part that probably struggled just a little bit was being a little bit further right, and that's because taking some hand out of it, not quite my A game. I like to make sure it hooks. So if you're somebody who needs a little bit of help with the ball getting popped down lane, I feel like the Viking does it. I mean, this ball really did seem like it wanted to get clean through the front part of the lane. And once it saw that friction, it had a lot of motion off the friction there. So just a little cleaner than what my attention star was. Probably just a little bit more overall shape to it. Obviously, going to get down the lane much easier than what the Harsh Reality Pearl was, just from a layout perspective. Both of them core or strength-wise pretty similar. Harsh is supposed to be a little bit stronger, but we've seen that one stand up in the middle part of the lane pretty easily. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, watching this thing go down the lane, it looked like it was making the go left thing look pretty easy. So, yeah, you were off from the sidelines. Did you see anything? What were your thoughts?
I thought I only saw you throw a couple times in the 5 for video type thing you did. The ball motion down lane is a little bit reminiscent of the attention star. Maybe attention star, I know you thought it was a little earlier. For me, the attention star is a little more quick off the spot.
Okay.
When it sees friction. but they're pretty close.
Sure.
They're pretty close by watching it go down the lane there. Definitely quicker than an Origin. The Blue
Oh
Origin.
yeah. I mean, that ball is definitely not.
Blue Origin was clean
what
but
it was
very
supposed to be.
rolly. You know,
Yeah.
I always thought that would be close to the attention star, but it didn't really match up to that.
Sure. The only person I ever seen make the Origin go left down lane was Prather when he was here. But he can make it. He can make your mix go left down lane. So
Yeah. So I think this is much closer to an attention star. I just think, like I said, attention star is very, when it sees friction, is so quick.
It's so good. It's so good. I wish they would have kept that ball, and I make it again. Recant it. Just say it's okay. We're still making attention stars.
And we're gonna make like another 500.
Get rid of one of the other ones. Get rid of a gremlin or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do for that. Gremlin's still okay, but you should have kept the attention star.
Yeah, Gremlin a lot earlier. Goes forward really quick.
Yeah, looks pretty good in the league patterns for a lot of people. So I think that one's definitely more rounded out.
I think medium to lower rev guys really like that because the ball is such a big ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you want to call it Rotogrip's version of an Equinox, except I think the Equinox is still a little bit earlier than what that one is. But even still, same type of thing. So it's still very more mid lane and just not quite as sharp down lane. But that's what I look for my shiny asymmetric balls to do. Get down lane, go left. One of those things. So I don't like the ones that try to fight it. Wasn't a big Equinox fan. I've seen other people throw them and they look great. So I'm just going to step off of that boat while I still can. So.
Yeah, the Equinox is really good.
Still sells a bunch. So does the Equinox
I left
Solid.
them in the bag I left them in the garage for a while because we had just so many balls.
Sure.
We do so many reviews, but then I took it out about 2 months ago, and the pin up, pin down one, they both, depending on what you're on, they match up to what you're looking for, and they're definitely not a super clean, super responsive ball to friction like an attention star. So definitely, because of the rolliness, they blend out the lane, but have really nice continuation to them.
Which makes it make sense for us to how it works so well on a house shot is that it's not going to just go dead sideways when it sees the friction. It's going to control that and blend it out.
But has
Same
good
thing with the oil. Exactly. So all that makes a lot of sense. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I am going to go look real quick and see who we decided for our merch giveaway.
I'm going to try throwing one more good shot.
So let's see here. All right. Okay. If you're still watching and your YouTube name is Big Mike Basil, you're the winner. You're going to have to go ahead and message the Buddies Pro Shop Facebook page, or at very least you can give us a call. You're also welcome to email drillers@buddiesproshop.com. Let us know your shirt size as well as the best shipping address for you. We're going to get you out a Buddies merch pack. So thank you guys all for watching. We do appreciate it. We love being able to show you guys some of the equipment on the lanes live and watch us miss a little bit and see what the balls do, watch us throw them good and see what the balls do, and compare them a little bit. If it wasn't for you guys watching, we probably would have already stopped. So yeah, feel free to keep liking and sharing. Tune in. We're always going to have something going on. We may skip a Friday here or there, but we always keep you guys informed when the next one's going to be. If you like the Viking and you're very interested, you can always go to buddiesproshop.com, check out some of the numbers in a little bit more detail on it. And you can also place your order. This ball does come out on the 21st. So keep a lookout. There's going to be more announcements in the coming future. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend.